I'm Bernadette Wagner, and I'm pleased to welcome you to Healing, Hope, and Health, the program proudly brought to you by Hospice of Washington County. Hospice of Washington County is well known for providing excellent medical care, compassionately delivered to those with limited time. It is also well known for its professional grief specialists who provide support and counseling at no cost to those dealing with the loss. To meet the needs of the bereaved, the counselors offer a variety of forums including individual, couple, and family counseling, support groups, workshops, and seminars. It's my pleasure to introduce Linda Beckman, a bereavement care specialist with Hospice of Washington County. She joins us today to talk about Healing Through Creative Expressions, a workshop she will be leading at the Hagerstown Community Life Center to help the grieving process and make sense of their feelings. Welcome, Linda. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you, Bernadette.
Sure. So before we talk specifically about your workshop, maybe you can explain to our viewers why it's important to process rather than stuff the feelings associated with the loss.
It's really important to process feelings because if we don't process the feelings, that's when there can be issues of coping. Coping meaning if we don't deal with the sadness of the loss of a loved one and we hold it inside of ourselves, it can manifest into spiritual, cognitive, emotional, and problems, and physical problems that can create almost a person to get stuck or to actually need extra help down the road.
Yeah, so really somebody who's not dealing and processing their grief, they can wind up having physical ailments that they need to go to a physician for.
Right, and it's really important that people are aware that grief manifests itself physically too, so some physical symptoms are normal. When we hold on to our feelings inside of ourselves, though, those physical issues can become even more serious.
Okay. So people are different, people grieve differently. Is it fair to say there's no right way to grieve?
No, and that's really important because we all have different personalities, and there's really two main styles of grieving, instrumental and intuitive. And one is where you feel more, you wear your feelings out on your sleeve, you can talk about it, you can cry more. And then the other is really a more thinking, a more cognitive. And a lot of people that are the feeling type and can share more and cry more sometimes have issues because they think the other person in their family may not be grieving when actually they really are. They just are doing it differently.
So it's really important to somehow acknowledge that people grieve differently and to teach those that you're counseling to accept that if somebody's grieving differently, it doesn't mean that they're not grieving.
Correct. That's right.
Right, okay. So professional support may be extremely helpful to grieving. What are some signs that indicate a person might benefit from that kind of support? What are the symptoms of grief?
Symptoms of grief can range anything from having really bad headaches to confusion to times of deep sadness. We call it a roller coaster ride, a really rough roller coaster ride where you can start thinking that you're dealing with your grief, and then all of a sudden you have what we call a grief burst, and you have a day where you just want to stay in bed and you want to cry, but that's normal. The important part of that is that you're actually continuing to deal with the feelings, continuing to take care of yourself, so you don't end up in a situation where the depression could end up getting to the point where you're not eating, you're not able to go to work, more of the extreme issues that can end up causing added problems and complicated grief.
So if you're working with somebody that is grieving and you're concerned about them getting stuck in a depression, do you make referrals to physicians at that time?
One of the things I make sure to do with clients, and most of them, especially if they're starting to have more physical symptoms, especially that they're concerned about, that they're not able to take care of by trying to eat a little bit more or trying to sleep a little bit more, I'll always recommend that they see their primary care doctor. I think it's really important during the grief process that you're in touch with your primary care to make sure that things are things are going to be rocky and you're going to have those symptoms, but then they're not getting to the point where serious health problems could happen.
Okay, and so maybe you could tell our viewers a little bit about this workshop, Healing Through Creative Expressions, exactly what takes place at the workshop and the different mediums that are used.
Okay. What we're trying to help people do to cope with their grief is to do it not just by talking. A lot of people aren't comfortable and don't want to come in and sit with a counselor and talk for 40 minutes. They want to process it a different way, and there are different ways to do it, and several of those ways are journaling, and there's several different ways to journal, and it's not just sitting there writing like you're writing a book. There's ways to journal where you actually can be helping process your feelings. We also try to teach some meditation, some very simple meditation. A lot of people think meditation means you have to sit there and you don't think about anything, and that's really not possible, especially when you're grieving, because our thoughts are all over the place and we're reliving different moments. So we try to help people to learn how to kind of meditate to calm down the anxiety, which can really create some problems during the grief process when our anxiety and stress get really high.
We don't have much time left, Linda, but I was wondering, is this workshop appropriate for children, or is there something else that you offer at Hospice for children who are grieving?
This workshop is more geared towards older teenagers, probably 14 and older, and adults, but we do have a grief camp for kids. It is coming up on August 22nd, and it's for 6 to 13-year-olds. It's an overnight camp. Registration is open right now. This camp is of no charge, free of charge, and we do everything from helping kids learn how to process their feelings and their grief and their loss, and also we have a lot of fun.
Great, great. And real quickly, how could people register for this workshop?
Probably the easiest way is either go on to the Hospice of Washington County website, and there's some information there, or call our main number, which is 301-791-6360.
Thank you so much, Linda.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank Linda for joining me on today's episode of Healing, Hope, and Health, and for offering a workshop that promotes healing while tapping the creative spirit within each one of us. Author Tom Zumba said of grieving, "There are no quick fixes to grief, no easy answer. Every expression of grief that wants to be felt and honored and given its space must be allowed in order to heal." If you're suffering due to the death of somebody you love, I encourage you to think about these words and consider registering for Healing Through Creative Expressions. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I'm the hometown favorite.
I'll outsmart you.
I will beat you.
I'll be surrounded by fans cheering me on.
There's no place like home for fighting cancer.
My turf.
My time.
My team.
Expert care, close to home. The John R. Marsh Cancer Center at Meritus Health.
Arbors Carson Jewelers has been your community jeweler for over 110 years. We have the region's largest selection of diamonds, designer jewelry, including bridal, gold, and silver fashion jewelry, and fine Swiss timepieces. We strive to combine quality, expert personal attention, and affordable financing to create an exceptional shopping experience aimed at exceeding your expectations. At Carson's Jewelers, there's something for everyone that will bring a smile to that someone special in your life.
Hi, I am Dr. Olenzak at the Pain and Spine Institute. I specialize in the most advanced procedures and technology available in pain management. At your visits and procedures, you will always see me for continuity of care. I would like to thank all of my patients for allowing me to provide you with the specialized care that you need. To give you this level of care requires a team. This is your team at the Pain and Spine Institute. To become a patient, call 301-739-7900 or go to painfree-md.com.
Welcome back to Healing, Hope, and Health. Our next guest is Officer Gerald Kendall, a member of the Hagerstown Police Department for more than 21 years. In that time, he has served in a variety of positions, including uniform patrol, DARE officer, community policing officer, and C-Safe coordinator. His current duties include running the crime prevention and crime-free multi-housing programs. Officer Kendall serves on numerous nonprofits boards, which enable him to blend his professional skills with his desire to make a difference in his community. Every year, Hospice of Washington County looks forward to participating in National Night Out, the collaborative effort of police and local agencies to prevent crime and build community. It's my pleasure to welcome Officer Kendall to today's program to talk about National Night Out. Welcome, Jerry. Thanks for being here.
Well, thank you, Bernadette. I'm glad to be here.
Good, good. So can you tell us a little bit about the history of National Night Out and the number of years that the Hagerstown Police Department has been participating?
Well, National Night Out is celebrating its 32nd year this year nationally. The police department has been participating at least 22 years. I've been involved with it in one way or another since I joined the department. It's ongoing and it's always growing. This year we're at the north end of the Fairgrounds Park, and I'm expecting probably at least 1,200 people plus to show up this year to participate.
Wow, that's great. And can you tell our viewers about the event, how it both prevents crime and builds community, how this dual mission has come to be?
Well, the preventing crime part is to bring people out, get to know them, make them aware of things that they can do for personal safety, how to protect their homes, identity theft. We will have a lot of literature on hand, and the whole idea is to tell the community that if you don't want to be a victim of crime, here's how we can work together to work together to stop crime.
And then the idea of building community, you bring different agencies together and they offer activities to the whole community, everybody from kids to adults all the way through.
Exactly. A healthy community has to be that. We have to have people that are physically healthy, mentally healthy, and then that then lends itself into the building of community where the neighbors get to know each other. And that's the whole idea behind Night Out. We have the different organizations coming in that are offering their services free of charge. Different things. We have got the clinic coming out, the dental clinic. We'll have community rescue service out there. A lot of different vendors from different service agencies all out there to make themselves aware to the community.
So it's a little bit of a resource fair at the same time.
A little bit, yes it is.
Yeah, that's great. And when and where will this event be held this year?
It is October the 4th.
No, August 4th.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It is August 4th.
Right.
At Fairgrounds Park. We will be starting at about 5:30 in the evening, going to about 8:30 in the evening. We were actually going to have free food. We have hot dogs and drinks and chips that we have for every person that attends.
Great.
And a lot of giveaways.
That's great. So is this event being only held in Washington County and Hagerstown, or other communities hosting National Night Out parties too?
Just like the name implies, it is a national event. In Washington County, numerous communities participate. I do know Smithsburg, Boonesboro, Williamsport, Hancock, and I believe even Clear Spring all participate in Night Out.
That's neat. That's neat. I know Hospice of Washington County is looking forward to participating in this event. Who else? What other agencies will be there?
I have Air Methods coming in. They do medevac. They bring in one of their helicopters. The state police will be bringing in their Trooper 3 helicopter for a little bit. We have got obviously the fire department, medical resources there for their CRS, et cetera, with their vehicles. We've got the dental clinic coming, Walnut Street. We've got different social services. We have Associa, which is a national sponsor. They're going to be doing some child fingerprinting.
Cool.
Just a plethora of things that'll be out there.
Each agency hosts a different activity, and I know Hospice of Washington County this year is going to be doing the headstands for Hospice Challenge. We're going to invite the kids to do headstands, and the adults too, take their pictures and post them on their website. And the idea is to let them know that Hospice is there for them, but also to have them show their support for our Hospice program. So we're really looking forward to that. I was wondering, can you tell us about if there's going to be any games there that the kids can try?
There will be, some of the vendors will bring their own other games, just like you're doing. We are going to have a blow-up obstacle course for the younger children is there.
Oh, that'll be fun.
We're going to have, I know, the Chick-fil-A cow will be there, is supposed to be there. Blaze from Buffalo Wild Wings, I believe, is supposed to be there.
Great. Well, it sounds like a great day.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. I've got a great team that'll help me. but it seems to get bigger and better every year.
Well, thanks for being here, Jerry.
Well, thank you.
I'd like to thank Officer Kendall for being here today and for all he does for our community. The key components of positive policing are community partnership, organizational transformation of police, and problem-solving activities such as National Night Out. I encourage all of you to begin practicing your headstands and turn out for National Night Out. I hope to see you there. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
People don't realize it takes a lot to care for a family member in your home. John's dad was very headstrong, so I think that was a lot for him to get over and try to come to terms with that he had terminal illness. I would recommend everybody to get hospice involved at the get-go. When you first learn about it, get it set up. It's going to make it, I mean, it's terrible what you're going through already, but it's going to make it easier for you in the long run because we couldn't have done it without them.
Call Hospice today. Hospice of Washington County, when time matters most.
From the smallest item of jewelry to the largest ceramic elephant, every 10,000 Villages handcrafted product makes a remarkable journey.
All over the world, our products travel similar paths, over thousands of miles and years of artistic tradition. Our handcrafted gifts represent work that builds villages and sustains souls. They are the dream of a better life made real. Every product is a miracle.
Hi there. I'm glad you're still with us. As you know, Hospice of Washington County has opened 3 community life centers in the past 18 months in Hancock, Hagerstown, and most recently in Boonesboro. At all 3 centers, professional bereavement counselors offer grief counseling at no cost to those who have suffered a loss. Additionally, at the life centers, local residents are invited to lead programs that showcase their special talents, knowledge, and skills. Today, I'm pleased to welcome Kathy Nevel and Deborah Heflin, Activities Director and Marketing Director, respectively, for Farney-Keedy Home and Village. Kathy has been with Farney-Keedy since 2006 and currently serves as Vice President of the Maryland Activities Coordinator Society in Region 4. And Deborah joined Farney-Keedy in 2011. She has a Bachelor's of Science in Human Services and Advanced Training in Support Group Facilitation. Kathy and Debbie join us today to talk about joint effort between HWC and Farney-Keedy to offer programs at Boonesboro Life Center that would be interesting to and fun for the Farney-Keedy residents to either attend or lead. Welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. So before we get talking about our little collaboration, first could you just tell us a little bit about Farney-Keedy, where it's located, how many residents, how many employees you have, that sort of thing?
Sure. Well, Farney-Keedy is a state-certified continuing care retirement community, and it's set in this very lovely, serene rural setting just minutes from Hagerstown and Boonesboro. And our community has 200 residents, and they reside in independent living, assisted living, our memory care neighborhood, or using our skilled rehab and skilled nursing services.
Okay, and how many people do you employ there?
Around 170.
Wow, that's great. That's great. So it's a good source of employment for our area too.
Absolutely.
So the cottages, Kathy, you are the activities director, so you work with a lot of the residents who live in the cottages, which are independent living.
Yes.
I know you have lots of activities there, but also your residents there are really, a lot of them are very mobile and drive and very active. And I was wondering if you thought that they would be interested in attending or leading programs at the Life Center in Boonesboro.
Absolutely. I think we could get many of our residents involved in that. I know we handed out the survey and there was interest in the walk and talk, the nitwits, cooking for one, and the exercise and the health benefits.
That's great. That's great. And Deborah, maybe you could tell us a little bit about if Farney-Keedy offers transportations for residents to participate in events either at the Community Life Center, or do they take trips? How does Farnakeedy work that?
We do have a transportation bus which is wheelchair accessible, and our independent living residents often schedule events throughout the month, going out to dinner. They've been to the Maryland Theater, so they do get together, or if there's not a bus available, they help each other get to where they need to go.
Okay. And Kathy, we did just mention some of the surveys, but some of the other things I was wondering, do you think the residents there would want to maybe lead some activities, either a book club or a storytelling group? We actually had a professional storyteller suggest that she would like to lead a workshop for seniors interested in recording their own stories. Do you think that would be appealing, or?
I think you would be able to get a few of our residents that would be interested. We have a wide variety from even jewelry making and quilters and,
that would be great.
And that type of thing. So I think that, we can always put it out there and, get their advice and input. And
the thing is, at the Life Centers, if they came to lead a program, it wouldn't just be for the Farnakeedy residents, it would be for the community at large, and I think they would enrich the community with their skills and talents.
Absolutely.
So I hope that they do take advantage of that. So I was just wondering what other sorts of activities that you offer on your campus?
On the campus, we have exercise programs. Most recently, we're going to be starting a Tai Chi program for our residents. Of course, you have our popular bingo. We do outings with our residents. We go to see dress rehearsals at the Washington County Playhouse. We've had the Nigerian Women's Group come in. We have music programs. Large events.
So it's a lot of good things happening there.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you both so much for being here. I'm so grateful to Kathy and Deborah were able to be here today, and even more grateful for the opportunity to partner with them to develop programs that will benefit both local Boonesboro and Farnakeedy residents. When agencies work together to provide programs, everyone benefits, that's for sure. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Arbors Carson Jewelers has been your community jeweler for over 110 years. We have the region's largest selection of diamonds, designer jewelry, including bridal, gold, and silver fashion jewelry, and fine Swiss timepieces. We strive to combine quality, expert personal attention, and affordable financing to create an exceptional shopping experience aimed at exceeding your expectations. At Carson's Jewelers, there's something for everyone that will bring a smile to that someone special in your life.
I'm the hometown favorite.
I'll outsmart you.
I will beat you.
I'll be surrounded by fans cheering me on.
There's no place like home for fighting cancer.
My turf.
My time.
My team.
Expert care. Close to home. The John R. Marsh Cancer Center at Meritus Health.
People don't realize it takes a lot to care for a family member in your home. John's dad was very headstrong, so I think that was a lot for him to get over and try to come to terms with that he had terminal illness. I would recommend everybody to get hospice involved at the get-go. When you first learn about it, get it set up, it's going to make it, it's terrible what you're going through already, but it's going to make it easier for you in the long run, because we couldn't have done it without them.
Call Hospice today. Hospice of Washington County, when time matters most.
Welcome back to Healing, Hope, and Health. Sharon King joins us today for the Lovingly Remembered segment to share her memories of and pay tribute to her remarkable son, Wesley Oakes. Sharon says there's no pain like that of a parent who loses a child. She also says that the void created by his death will always be with her, but that she receives a measure of comfort and peace when she talks about him and recalls the way his life enriched her own. Sharon, thanks for being here today and coming to talk to us about Wesley.
Thanks for having me.
Sure. So tell us a little bit about when Wesley was born and his early childhood.
He was born, there was a heat wave, 1988, August 11th. And he was a big baby. Yeah, he was pretty big.
How much did he weigh?
9 pounds, 6 ounces.
That's a big baby.
Yeah, the doctor was like, have you been feeding him steak and potatoes or what? Oh. But yeah, Wesley liked to cuddle. liked to stay close. He was a quiet, shy child. Yeah.
Okay. And who were some of his favorite people when he was little? Who did he play with?
That would be his brother Jarrett. Yeah.
Okay.
Always ran after Jarrett. Wesley
how much older is Jarrett?
2.5 years. And Wesley didn't talk much. He had a small speech impediment, so Jarrett would always interpret. If you didn't understand what Wesley said, Jarrett could tell you.
A little big brother idolizing thing.
Yeah. But later on, his favorite people definitely were his nephews. He loved being an uncle, Max and William, and then he held a real special place in his heart for his friends' 2 children, Micah and Madison. So he loved being the big guy around the little kids.
That's neat. He was worshiping his old brother and then played that role for other people.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
Neat. Did Wesley play sports as a kid? If so, what did he play?
Well, when he was little, he did track and soccer, but he mainly was a football guy. He did football from midget league all the way up through varsity. You know, he played the hiker, also known as the center.
Yeah. Did you?
He would correct me all the time when I'd say that.
Oh, that's funny. Center, Mom,
yeah,
not hiker.
Not the hiker.
Oh, that's funny. Did Wesley have any special pets?
Oh, yeah. Well, growing up, he had a goat and cat, but his companion, his faithful companion, was his dog Buck. Yeah, he had an American boxer that he adopted, and they were just inseparable.
And what sorts of hobbies did Wesley pursue?
Well, when he was little, he collected keychains. He probably had like 200 keychains hanging in his room, and football cards. I don't know, a dozen albums of football cards, but his main hobbies were hunting and fishing. Wesley was the fisherman.
What kind? Did he fish for a particular kind of fish?
Oh my gosh, catfish.
Okay.
Catfish on the Potomac River. I mean, he actually kept a little memo book of all the fish, and he would log fish up to 34 inches long.
Wow.
I mean, he was a fisherman.
And what did he hunt?
Oh, he hunted anything from deer to squirrel to turkey. At one time, he even got a fox. I'm not sure why, but it was there, and he could get it. And he would do both you know, rifles and archery. Very good archery.
And did you eat the deer and the turkey? And
yeah, I had to learn how to make squirrel stew. And make it go far with all these little squirrels he'd bring in when he was younger. And I actually got a wild turkey one year we had for Thanksgiving. That was interesting too. Yeah.
That's neat. And how about did Wesley enjoy music?
Yeah, he was a country music guy all the way, and actually even taught himself to play guitar. Amazingly, yeah, he was pretty talented.
So he didn't take lessons, but he picked it up.
Yeah, he had friends and an uncle that played, and he'd watch them, and he just picked it up and started strumming. So,
what is one of your favorite memories of Wesley?
Oh, that had to be a birthday present one year. Mainly Jarrett always wanted a tattoo as a young man, and I told him unless he was 18, I wouldn't sign for a tattoo unless it was a heart that said Mom in it. Well, that'd put an end to that. And then for my birthday one year after Wesley turned 18, he walks in the kitchen and bares his chest, and there he has a heart rose with Mom in it right on his chest.
So was that your best birthday present ever?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh. Yeah, it was such a tribute and just an I love you, Mom moment.
So obviously you miss him tremendously. Is there any special way or any special thing you do to honor him?
Yeah, every year his family and friends, actually his sister-in-law Catherine started Team Wesley. That's where his shirt comes from. And we walk in the Out of Darkness walk every year for suicide prevention.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for being here, Sharon.
Thanks for having me.
It's a lovely way to remember your son.
Thank you.
Death leaves a heartache that no one can heal, but love also leaves a memory no one can steal. This sentiment, found on an Irish tombstone, was reflected in Sharon's words today. I'd like to thank Sharon for telling her stories that, when woven together, create a mosaic of Wesley's life. I hope in talking about Wesley, Sharon experienced some of the joy that comes from speaking the name of a departed loved one. If you would like to honor your loved one on Healing, Hope, and Help, please let me know. Call Hospice of Washington County at 301-791-6360 or email me at info@hospiceofwc.org. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.
Looking through the lens, I see you smiling there. I take a photograph. In my mind you'll never fade. A million winding roads. Who knows where we will go today?